Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
You know that sound when you've snapped on? I got a full line of weapon modification. Why, it gets you the weapon best suited for your...
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Self-improvement, including one's weapons.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine. Only takes a bit of elbow grease. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. Ours is an engine. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it... Right here for a start. A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARRANTIES tops the list. So, what can...
Do you know what's happening on Terra 1? Last I heard, the board was in dispute with the Renegade Company.
Ooh, someone has got to talk with Chief Tennyson about the thermostat around here.
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just take it down here. Where's it all go? Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated
Have you
bastard.
seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of Lord RT greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. This unit is programmed to simulate shock simulation non-functional. A trouble ticket has been. Shock simulation restored. Initiating shocks. How dare you? Shock may this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed building. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family worked. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. That's why I settled on Groundbreaker. It's the last bastion of freedom.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. They're terrified to lock in the juices. You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of Spacer's Choice found sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly. Legally? No. The terrifying method between you, me, and this grinder? I've been through lean times. If there's one thing you learn on tramp freighters, it's how to make near anything edible. Might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right ears, and could be that Spacer's Choice liked sticking it to see. Terror frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret, a mix of 13 herbs and spices, plus a dash of mod. Absolutely not. Spratwurst, in all related terms, are boar. The other meat is a registered trademark of C&P. Just as well. Near about time for me to go check on the track. Long as you... Just as well. Fresh from the grinder.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. I heard we had someone in impound. Wish I could help. I gave the bureaucrats a motive authority over freight traffic, and it rankles them good when I challenge it. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while... Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer... Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceship.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard? Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we... Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like... The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and... I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable. Nice and pragmatic. You must not have been here long. In Halcyon, new parts come by way of interstellar freighters from Earth, and the board That means I'd have to negotiate with the board. I've already given them the shops, the docking fees, and a damn embassy. Damn right. And while I'm captain of the Groundbreaker, those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is
so
restricted
unbearable,
for
I
your
can hardly
protection.
even...
Companions of Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless. Savage and unemployed. The board's embargo in...
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of wanted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to the local ward.
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicar.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
What do you recommend?
Seeking relief from the heat? Till June Lay gets those radiators fixed. I hear tell some folk down in the townships are getting offered early retirement. Who'd think of such a thing? The radiators, they're and we're all sweating buckets wondering when the powers that...
It might be your thermal control system's busted. That...
I don't really care what the issue... Sweat's starting to make me chafe in places I shouldn't be chafing. They're supposed to gather up... Instead of the heat going where it ought, though. Weeks? I lost track. Engineering. Chief Junlei Tennyson, to be precise. She run...
Miss Junlei seems real on top of things.
Don't know what's got her dragging her heels. That's not for me to say. But if you're feeling the... There's nobody who knows more about the station's guts. Any system you could name, June's crawled around inside and made it better. She doesn't come around here often, though. Stellar Bay proper? Tough to say. The board recalled all the nav keys about 10 years back when the Corp... It's overrun with beasts, I heard. Big ones. Kinda chew your face off for fun. Might all be bored. If you're aiming to get to Stellar Bay, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. But I ain't the one you ought to be asking. Try Gladys on... What ain't I got?
Rizzo's Strawberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
This is the simple truth. We are all
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I can't let you near it till... I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have work... I ain't felt so much as a tepid...
Well, it doesn't smell as bad here as Edgewater's graveyard.
Either way, let's not stick around so long we all roast alive. No offense, Miss Elson, I'm...
Whew. I'm starting to feel like assisting... Have yourself...
Rizzo's Knock You Outlaw. A CCN 76 1-ton car. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Who the... Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing...
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is...
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mod.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got... You stumbled into my court without an invitation, neighbor from above. If you don't... No one turns their back on me while...
Here they come! Down they go! Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from... Look at this. Time to feed the
Is this what carbon monoxide...
Speaking for myself, Captain.
You came with the crew.
The strong survive and the weak perish.
It's so... cozy.
People don't like worms in their shrooms. Backside still smarts. Is everyone...
I'm ready.
Good. Try something else. I've had quite enough of you!
I'm with your leg. You're trying to get us off? What do you think you're doing? You and I never saw each other.
Incoming.
Smells kind of like old Bess's outflow pipes.
We've got them. Now we can move on to cleaner pastures.
This is...
You've returned, and in one piece. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. You've got my attention. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoot. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that any... Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the crossing and until she died.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never... Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that... You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. You've got my attention. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machine. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super
I'm genuinely heartened to hear. Those are
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following
Seeing you limping a bit. You all right, Mr. Vicker? Need us to slow down?
What are you implying? I am perfectly fit. My knee is just acting up.
There's no shame in being older, Mr. Vicker. Don't worry.
Here they come. That's the last of them.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on... Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
Seem to like traveling with us much.
Why in the architect's name would you say that?
It's just that you're real... grouchy. Kinda all the time?
I'm not grouchy, I'm just irritated by inane questions.
We interrupt.
Yeah, see, when you say it like that, it makes me wonder.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate it. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from... If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
CNP pancake mix. CNP Force Pocket. Can be microwaved in 2.5 seconds. Force Pocket.
I know she's in there, Mfuru. You can't keep me out of there.
Hello. Junlei. Now, is there something... a better selection than your...
sorry. Am I causing a... See, Furu? We could have avoided all this unpleasant... Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not... As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been... You say that like it's weird. Like I said, Jesse did me a favor, and I just don't like to leave... Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be...
CNP Borston Baked Beans. When you...
Sublight salvage. Their front looks surprisingly on the other hand. No one saw me trip over that, right?
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Ship. You the one flying the unre... Sure you are. Miss Lily has been expecting you. Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on a simple acquisition. These days, I stick to HQ and look after...
CNP Borstworst. It's not the worst unless it's worst.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it, if you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. Sure is. You need a deft hand to straighten a busted nose or sparkle up those not-so-pearly whites? I'm your gal. Of course, there's not much cosmetic improvement going on at the moment, not without my mechanical. I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanicals. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Surgery mostly. Medical personnel are difficult. The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring. You look out, though. The place is...
Rizzo's Purple Berry, Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored salad. Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard cider. Rizzo's Milk Chocolate. A tasty and 76 milk chocolate bar with caramel and pea-free nuts in it. It's time for a
Hey! What do you think you're doing? I don't want any trouble out of you.
You're an artist, Captain. There it is. Just yank. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
What?
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authority? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplate...
Halcyon News. We interrupt your
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
Bless my heart. A strange... You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar... Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You would... Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his... Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little... moral flexibility. Might be this could help out. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place. Can't say I know for sure.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call,
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time. Don't forget to come find old Gladys. I found a handsome ceramic mandapil. It's almost time for today's... Yes. Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you about came from. Shouldn't be too tough. What do you want? That's right, dearie. Though for how long? The board can't abide a community. Chief Junlei Tennyson. Used to be she was chief engineer before. Hold on. You are... bit straight-laced for my tastes, but that's just her name. And between you and me, I think the fight's starting to wear on her. Go right ahead. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players.
I'm not sure that's...
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you want to... Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them you... I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony. And they're trying to hide the... Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never... But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one book. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on groundbreak. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the... Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here. Gracious. Straight to the point, eh? Anytime.
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly? Oh, and it's not the best choice. A lot of slogans to... Shit. Oh, shit. No, I mean, excellent. As the face of Spacer's Choice, it's my honor to be a public figure. I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. You would never ask if you need... I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice consumer relation... Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. I can see all of the top-quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working. Sprat Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of... Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker. Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed. The blast will send you through the stratosphere and the crash will knock you out. Add an additional 10% to your purchase today and the proceeds. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school. Even if my contract didn't forbid it. I think, now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice lunar green? Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat. If there are self-made purgatories, then... Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this. It's fine. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? Heard of it? My orientation aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a spacer's choice beer. Take what you have, polish it up, and make the... So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone... Anything and everything. Just the opposite. Spacer's choice items are always new. Oh! It's a script. If I don't follow it to a T, I might lose... Spacer's choice items are always new, hot off the shelves. Because customer, you could go broke buying overpriced Aramid gear, or you could buy from us at a... Well, this is just the beginning of a long... Have a look.
C&P chicken and potatoes at C&P.
You ever wonder if maybe folks keep doors closed for a reason?
To the last ratted on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not... What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty... I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. Alright, okay. We can discuss. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to any...
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board. See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay... What? No, I didn't do anything. Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in... If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to find... Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to... Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
Any word on Jesse? Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engine.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one... Has something happened to... Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Ah, that's just like him. Such a... Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Right, you're going important. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells... You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Oh, I'm sorry. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Ms. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long... It's fine, really. It's... Now, if you've nothing else... Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is... That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but...
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work? Be my guest.
You refer to the radiator issue? Oh, Chief Tennyson certainly did take her... Gracious, no. I can't imagine what gave you that idea. Deplorable conduct.
She did everything she could. It was your people's fault, not Junlei's.
My, aren't you... excitable.
But hey, she's not... I just don't like this walk-in mustache speaking rude of her is all.
Well, now that...
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears... I have few compl...
Oh, good law! Who'd want... No, emphatically. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any board president. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman... Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room... Ask...
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you find...
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you... Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a... But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you... She helped me win a bet. We were on a smuggling run planet side when our point man bet me I couldn't outrun a mantisaur. What can I say? Something about people telling me I can't do a thing that and, as you can probably guess, the thing was faster than it looked. Probably... Yeah, but the important thing is... It's like people touching a cookie and leaving it in the box. It's just... You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Traveling in style, are we? I'll be sure to nab a cabin with a view.
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie. We're real happy to have you.
Got word from Udam, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I'm indentured to the board now. I ain't too elated about going exclusive, but you sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are...
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
Were you really in jail, Mr. Max? And you were our vicar?
Yes, but as I've repeatedly said, I was assigned there as a vicar. I was not a prisoner.
I just can't believe you'd lie.
I was not lying. It had no bearing on my ability to minister to my flock, and was therefore not worth mentioning.
CMP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local force.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. Charmed. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognized. Is Ada still at the helm? I don't know how many times I told Hawthorne to restore that smartass to factory settings. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable setup.
Just like in the serials?
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. And second, all the goodies that no one had time to pack. I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else... These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interests into other sectors. Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal... Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation. Good girl. Knew you'd understand. Very. I have this thing about numbers in... I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for... Ask. Be seeing you.
Hey, Mr. Vicar. Do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? For that...
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say yes and go on to explain why. I just want to have a conversation.
CNP, I can't believe it's not.
Of course you do.
Have either of the assault cruisers ever put into ground?
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with the local authorities when you passed me by. I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking... Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Yes, I absolutely... Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. You're serious. You're giving me a shot. All right. Hang on. I put together a little speech. Just, hey there. I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a... Firstly, I am highly personable. Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and or raid. That motto is Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a... In conclusion, thank you for considering...
I thought that was real good.
Thanks for the vote of comp. What do you think? Am I in? Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. It's delicious. Mock apple pie and a tripicale crust. Maybe with a little... Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem is not with authority, it's with jackasses. So yeah, I guess my biggest flaw is that I don't suffer idiots. Hope that's not a deal breaker. Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its servos with... You can count on me in a scrap, boss. That's a promise. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swag... Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan... Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky... Well, former dock worker. Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
You got a crew now, Felix.
Well, I did not expect you back so soon, Captain.
Hey, Captain. Can I get your... So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages. She sent me a poem. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? It's not so good. Oh, law. That's what's got me spooked. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand on it. I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine and I'm the lady? It's a real romantic... I don't know where it's leading yet, or if I'm misinterpreting. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale. No, ma'am. That's not it. I guess I just needed to talk. I'm feeling a touch better. I actually had another message from Junlei. couldn't work up the courage to open it. But I'm gonna change that. Let's see here. Talking about old friends, got to thinking... They were... close. I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past, but how far in the past? 10 years? Last week? Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the Groundbreaker? Get some drinks at that bar there? Maybe for you. I start thinking about all the things she could say in my... I'm full serious. Next time we're on the Groundbreaker, I aim to get a drink. If I got to, I'll do it on my lonesome. But I'd feel better if someone I trusted... Yeah, so... I was looking for a place that was quiet. Cozy-like, ain't it? That's in pretty good shape, considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA-1... The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space, but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I can... Your user preferences have been updated, Captain. In the event we are about to crash...
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was.
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I...
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question.
I am gratified you... I am at your disposal, Ms. Parvati. You will find the technical schematics in the engineer's locker.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with... You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with the plasma... Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all of my life. Mr. Thompson... I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like he wanted. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Oh, there were a whole lot of reading, not nearly enough doing. Like, before they'd issue you a wrench, they wanted an essay on the design of different wrenches. Then there'd be quizzes on company regulations for storage and maintenance of wrenches. Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle, and I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. About a year. I tried to do more of the work. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my Oh gosh. Look at the time.
Heard from the lasses down on 22 that you did it.
Rizzo's purple berry fudge. A soft flour candy shell around sweet purple berry flavored sandwich.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Hey, Ellie. Not today. I'm on the job. Never thought I'd... A new face.
Rizzo's purple berry fudge. You want a punch? We got your punch right here.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh?
Rizzo's purple berry fudge. A soft flour candy shell.
So, how's this work? Do we get a table? Stand in a... Okay, so... What are we drinking? You're the expert? Oh, and don't worry... Oh, wow! You remembered. Bottoms up.
Good choice for getting sloshed when you...
Wow, this is... Oh, Captain. I'm pining for June like something fierce. What am I doing? I mean, just... with Junlei. I don't know what to do. Well, she talked about another girl, right? Isabel. Maybe I've been making a right fool of myself this whole time. Maybe she's not interested after all. It was real long and rambly. She was telling me a story about her dad, how a lady named Isabel. This Isabel lady never quite managed to get her dad's approval, but they carried on anyways. Then it all went down the tubes. Thinking so makes me liable to lose my lunch, Captain. I never done this before. I need another drink. Something stronger, I'm thinking. I'm still all tense. All right, whiskey. Woo! That smells like an unlock. Here we go. Oh! Oh, Captain. I want to talk to Junlei all the time. Figuring feelings ain't so easy as saying words, Captain. Someone so brave as you, well, you can't understand. Does she think I'm as pretty as I think she's handsome? What if she doesn't like me? What if she does? What if she's still got feelings for that lady, Isabel? There's nothing easy about spilling your guts to the person who's got your heart. You know I'm not interested in physical affection. That's... well, it's tripped folks up in the past. Folks I thought cared about me for me. What if I can't make her happy? Yeah, I know you're right. Back in Edgewater, there was... gosh, I don't know that I got that in me. Sometimes I feel real mean inside, Captain. Yeah. I like the way you put that, like... well, Captain, this has been... oh gosh, I don't know, Captain. Do you think I should? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Right when we get back to the ship. I mean, probably. Thanks for hearing me out and giving me counsel.
This was fun. We should do it again.
Huh. All right. Thank you, guys. You're real good friends, you know that? I wish... come on, let's go.
Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate. Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand. Usually zero-G brew with some Spectrum vodka if you're lucky, purple berry shake if you're not. I'll make you one sometime. If you don't enjoy it, I'll make you... Sure do. What gave it away? It's the hair, right? Or maybe the ammo belt? Gotta advertise your business some. I've done all types of work with all kinds of crews. If there's one thing you ought to know about me, it's that I won't tell you Makes two of us, Cap. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise Space Hospital. Never... that about... oh, come on. That's stuff... Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters is that I'm all for making a few bits together and... no complaint. Okay.
Rizzo's... knock you out far.
Where are we headed today, Captain? The stars are the limit.
Hey, Captain. I hope I wasn't too much bother at the bar. I did have fun, though that whiskey did get my head aching. I wouldn't mind having a drink again. I messaged Junlei when we got back and she replied super quick. Okay. I reread my message in the morning, and it was unclear. I was drinking when I sent it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the courage. Oh, she called mashed potatoes smashed potatoes, but I think maybe that's just what they call them. I've ruined things in the past because I didn't say things I should have, like, I want to be honest with her, so if she feels the same about me, there won't be any surprises. Isn't she sweet? Like one of those two-bit romances where one soul's all... I ought to go write her back. I mean, I already did. Something bust...
Destination reached. Scylla. I'll lock up behind you.
This is real space, isn't it? Empty, silent. Never thought I'd see the light. I'd look up at night, but... I can take a hint. Let's go! Ha! Yes! Down they go! That's the last of them!
Hey, outlaw. You know, you didn't have to shoot me.
Nice one! My kind of action! No! I see a nail! On my way! Everyone all right?
Tremendous work, friend. Here I was readying a dip.
Why does that sound...
It's Ellie. Excellent timing. Hello, Ellie.
It's Dr. Fenhill. I certainly know his ex-crew. Mostly from the operating table.
How cruel you are. I distinctly remember a special party at the Lost...
We did not.
Oh, fine. But we...
Keep going, and you're gonna see how good this automech is at picking up teeth.
Symptoms detected. Elevated heart rate. Dilated.
I'm not terrified, you bucket of bolts. The one and only. I wager she told you to say that, the sly old bird. I swear, land on Groundbreaker even a moment tardy. You tell her these automechs are coming, and sending a hired stooge to rescue me from certain peril only furthers... Yes, well, I shan't. Give Wanda my... And farewell to you.
You'd better hope.
Explains how we ain't dead. Without the pylons, all the O2 this thing's cracking from the ice would just drift off.
There's no credible research on the health effects of standing directly under a terraformer, Captain. In case you were wondering.
Welcome aboard, Captain. We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
CNP force pockets can be macromed in 2.5 seconds.
Well, well, Dr. Fenhill.
I make it a point not to get shot, and when I do, I can usually take care of them.
It'd be nice to have you in here patching people up, not just...
I respect what you're doing here, but you know I'm not ready to set...
Have it your way, then. Now, about your friend here. Were I a gambling woman, I'd wager you're responsible for my... I can't thank you enough.
Something I can... Dr. Fenhill, I hope you're not here to harass...
Harassing?
You have a create...
Then it's lucky for us both that I've found game...
Good luck with this one, Captain. Now, is there some... a better selection...
Rizzo's Lemon Club. Stop your whole family tonight.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. What? No! No, no!
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the road. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Anton Crane, Vaughn Cortez, and Orson Shaw. What part of the colony would you... Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly... A sensible choice, as we do not have... The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precaution, even knowing the location. My systems resist my... Of course. What part of the We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,430,000. You are more than welcome, Captain. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with station representatives in what is considered a truly neutral. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been... How can I... What part of the colony? Where in Terra? Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or it was when first built. The town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate. You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but instead came to issue my injured captain a parking ticket? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve to be wiped out by starvation or a Since you diverted power to Edgewater, the botanical lab shut down. Meanwhile, the cannery's output increased. Thank you for nothing, Captain. I cannot say. First, I need to adjust my memory interpretation sensors, but I... How can I... What part of the... Where in my... Ah, Monarch. The armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's Smuggler's Port. It's Sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the... I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness, and a lawless land with no corporate... You may wish to survey the residents instead. Of course. What part of the colony? Where in town? Any crew traveling to Roseway will find themselves unofficially in a... Roseway has been removed from all Halcyon charts, and anything I could tell you, I can't... Why else do humans do anything? I believe the decision was a result of money squabbles. Here we go. Due to catastrophic financial losses, redacted, reportedly abandoned the town, shutting down 99.2% of all operations. However, There is an unsubstantiated rumor that Redacted, in actuality, continued to secretly develop Redacted products by experimenting on how very revealing. Of course, what part of the... Where in Monarch? Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider travel to Cascadia due to infestation of manta... There are no people aside from marauders in Cascadia. The local report is that you will very likely die if you leave Cascadia's landing pad. This is one of those times where you say one word but really mean another. How can I be? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? My violence inhibitors are a joke. No, really. I only keep them enabled because of how funny they are. Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle. As you wish, Captain. I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. Traveling the system with you, Captain. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? How can I be? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return. We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.